the world to them for getting us to this moment here. Curacao versus Canada, and the Canadians will come up to the plate after what was a really difficult first inning for them in their first game. Gave up 8 runs in that top of the first. They'll be opposed by Juan Ramon Cleto Ferreras, whose favorite team is the New York Mets, who've been trading everybody left and right over the last few hours.
Yeah, hopefully his season doesn't go like the Mets. They have been struggling so far this year.
For the team from Curacao, number 15, Juan Ramon Cleto Ferreras.
As we hear the announcement.
For Canada, number 9, Nathaniel Cote.
So Nathaniel Cote, who featured as a pinch runner in the first game, will lead off from the left side. The first pitch to him is way outside, ball 1. Cote will be the DH for Team Canada. So far, Cleto Ferreras not getting on top of that fastball.
Well, one of the things that we saw was that Canada can really swing the bats. They found a way to get back in that game. And over the course of their regional, they could really, really hit. They put up a ton of numbers.
Well, this is the group they're rolling out for their second game in pool play. Take a good look at Brian Labonte. He is sort of the anchor of this order. Keeps things stabilized for the team from right outside of Montreal. Even count now for Cote. That's well outside.
Another thing to think about, though, is the Canadians are unfortunately, they're not able to play baseball for half of the year up there with that kind of weather. Curacao, you can play all year round.
Full count pitch, it's high for ball 4, and Canada saw a lot of that against Czechia. Boy, did they make them pay for it. Canada issued 10 walks, but drew 9 of their own on offense. And in this tournament, as we've seen, walks turn into doubles pretty quickly.
Yeah, we've seen a ton of stolen bases, and it's to be expected, right, at this point of these guys' career. They're young, and then it's really hard to throw somebody out at second base. So why not force the issue? Make the defense throw you out at second base.
So Cote aboard in front of Malik Dauphiné. He's pushed off the plate. Ball and no strikes. Dauphiné went 0 for 2, drew 3 walks, had an RBI, and scored a run. Though it wasn't the prettiest game in the world for Canada or Czechia by any stretch of the imagination, it was impressive that Canada was able to find the will to come back against Czechia after being down by 8 runs as early as they were.
It was almost like the game was in 2 parts. The first part, Czechia all over it. They were going to win that game. And then all of a sudden, around the 3rd inning or so, it just turned in Canada's favor, and they were able to storm all the way back.
A lot of that credit goes to the Team Canada coaching staff, as Perez Spitaleri will throw behind the runner. Benoit Blaise, he's the manager of this Canadian team, and they're young guys. A long trip to get here to South Carolina, only to have all that emotion and momentum pretty much be thrown by the wayside after really bad first inning showing. Credit to his leadership and this team's chemistry to come back in a game like that. So far, Juan Ramon Cleto Ferreras has struggled to find the zone. 3-1 pitch, up and in, back-to-back walks.
Based on what I'm seeing so far from Cleto Ferreras, he's just moving a little too fast. He's a little excited. He's getting the pitch, he's getting to his set, and then immediately going. He needs to find a way to slow it down internally. It looks like he's got a good arm, but right now he's missing high. And when you're missing high, a lot of times that means that arm angle is just not getting downhill. So he's releasing that ball a little bit earlier than he needs to. He needs to find a way to get downhill and throw some strikes.
Now it's Justin Paquette. Alternating lefties and righties so far to start in this order. 2 walks to lead off the inning for Canada with nobody out. And Paquette will let that pass. 1-1. 1 through 7 in Canada's order in game 1. Each of them drew at least 1 walk.
Tell you what, one good recipe to lose ball games is to walk a lot of people. One way to win, get walked.
Paquette lays down a beauty of a bunt. Clayton Ferreira scampers off the mound. The throw is wide. It's going to ricochet off the fencing. Throw to the plate is in time. They got him. What a recovery by Hinkle at first to find the baseball, throw it home, and retire the runner at home plate. See if Canada wants to take a look at this, but what was a disaster of a play turned into an out.
A great bunt by Paquette and an ill-advised throw, and it looks like the second baseman covering and backing up makes a strike of a throw. DeCaster really heads up play, backing up the throw. He throws this ball home, and just an absolute bullet strike home to get the out in a huge turn of events here in the top of the first.
So a lot of moving parts to the scoring on that. I would assume it's a single with a throwing error by the pitcher that advances Dauphiné to third.
And the old 1-4-2.
The old 1-4-2 put out. You see it every day. The big cut by Alex Gaudreau. Makes it an 0-2 count.
And that little play right there with a lot going on is all of a sudden given Clayton Ferreira a little bit of excitement. He's starting to throw some strikes, you know. It gave him some momentum back in his favor, which Curacao desperately needed. It's still first and third, only one out, but he's ahead in the count 0-2 versus getting down in the count with those early balls.
You never know what you're going to see in the Senior League World Series. Canada, a golden opportunity here against Curacao. See if they put Paquette in motion. He stays put, popped up, foul ground. Sophia Jacobus has enough room to haul it in. Just enough space, just enough foul territory, and just like that, Curacao has 2 outs.
Just when you thought it was going to be 1-0 with nobody out, they get an out at home plate, and then this ball just stays in the park. A good job by Jacobus to get over there and find that fencing, make sure he has room, and then squeeze that pop-up, and that's 2 outs. And Curacao with the opportunity to get out of this inning in fine fashion, not giving up a run if they can get one more out.
Brian Labonte, who was 2 for 4 with an RBI and 2 runs in the opening game, has a big chance here. Clayton Ferreira has really settled in nicely. Tied him up. That's a great pitch.
Right on the inside corner. Nothing you can do if you're the catcher, Labonte, but look at that one.
Runner got a great jump. Clayton Ferreira will throw down. Runner's coming home. He's going to be safe. Throw back down to second. They've got him in a rundown. Throw to first. Tag dropped. Everybody's safe. Canada scores the opening run.
What a play by Canada. They went into their bag of tricks right here and sent the runner, Paquette, early to draw the throw. He wanted to get in a rundown, and here it is. They get in a rundown. They score the run. This is an ill-advised throw. It was late to home plate, but then they get the runner, Paquette. They were going to get him at first base, and the ball is dropped by Hinkle, and Paquette back in there, no problem. They were going to trade an out for a run, and luckily for Canada, they got a run without an out, and they're still in this inning.
That's a 4-2-6-1 that doesn't result in an out. 0-2. Pop back our way. Another look at the tag.
Yeah,
and it looks like
him.
He got him on the body.
He did, but that's what made.
Might have the ball back.
Yeah, might have had an opportunity to challenge on the replay right there. Sure looked like they had at least an idea that he might be out on that second tag.
I don't know if I loved the decision by the catcher to throw down to second there.
It was the pitcher, right? It was an early
correct.
move, right? So he's just trying to get in a pickle.
Now the catcher does throw down to second. It was a bullet. It finds its way into center. That's one heck of an arm by Perez Spitaleri. So he actually does throw down to second this time. It's not the pitcher, I beg your pardon, but Canada has yet another runner in scoring position.
Yeah, it's a pretty smart play by Canada. You're just trying to get a run right there, getting a run down. You'll get the run across and then take the out. They were fortunate enough to get out of that without giving up an out. Now they've got a runner in scoring position.
So it's 1-0 Canada with a chance to add on here. And LeBon putting up a great fight.
Yeah, good battle right here between Cleto Ferreras and LeBon. A couple balls fouled straight back, but it does look like Cleto Ferreras starting to settle in a little bit more comfortable with that leg kick and delivery.
2-2 in the air to center. Riquet charges in, and while the shortstop drifts out to make the play. Canada, with some great base running, takes a 1-0 lead. We'll see Curacao. Thomas Bilodeau, the 15-year-old, 6 feet 1 inch, 165-pound right-hander, will go to work against one of the favorites in this tournament, Curacao, who has had sustained success in the Senior League World Series. Daniel Perez Spitaleri will lead things off. First pitch to him, and he's wasting no time. He fouls it away to the left side, 0-1. Big issue for Canada has been throwing strikes. And this Curacao lineup will make you pay if you give them too many chances with runners aboard. Manager Charlton Morite trying to repeat what the 2023 Willemstad Curacao team did and win the Senior League World Series. Perez Spitaleri has a keen eye, now a 3-1 count.
I like what you're seeing, though, from Bilodeau. Pretty firm fastball, breaking pitch already. He has an interesting windup. He obviously goes from the stretch, but a little bit different leg kick than you normally see from a right-hander. He kind of tucks that knee underneath versus bringing it up to his chest. Whatever works.
Whatever feels comfortable. Right now, a full count. Last inning began with back-to-back walks. Bilodeau running the risk of granting a free pass should he miss the strike zone here. And he won't. Ground ball hit to second. Tremblay covers the ground and makes the play to first. So good battle by Bilodeau. The defense for Canada from left to right in the outfield. McMahon, Paquette, and Gauthier. Arsenault, Dauphiné, Tremblay, and Gaudreau on the infield with Labonte in harness for Thomas Bilodeau. Has to be a good feeling for Canada to get that first out. It took them quite a while to do so in their last game. In fact, Canada went through 2 pitchers before they recorded their first out against Czechia. Davy J. Riquet.
It sure seems like they might have been saving Bilodeau for this opportunity because he does have some pretty firm fastball and a good breaking ball. I thought the first breaking ball he threw was right over the middle of the plate. Called a ball, though.
Jadelyn Weil pops it up. A mile high on the infield. Who's going to get it? It's Dauphiné, the sure-handed shortstop. 2 quickly retired. Yadiel Tecaster can't hold up his swing. We'll see if they appeal down. He didn't. Looked an awful lot like a swing from our perspective.
Sure did, but he managed to hold it up.
Part of the 2025 Little League World Series team. Let's take a look at this swing again.
Yeah, that's an offering. That would be considered an offering, but that's all good.
He jackknifes out of the way of that fastball, 3-0. Great umpiring crew. They are all volunteers and have done an excellent job, if I do say so myself.
They really have, yeah. Most of these amazing umpires come, they obviously are volunteers and they have a lot of fun doing this. So it's fun to see these guys out there. And I can promise you, in the big leagues, they don't get all the calls correctly. So it's a tough job for these guys. And the lovely thing about this opportunity is it's Senior League World Series, and everybody's got a lot of sportsmanship. You don't have to worry about the fans from Philly or St. Louis yelling at you.
Kishore Hinkle will take strike one. It's Juwan Bosch calling balls and strikes behind the plate. He's seen a lot of strikes, a lot more than the last umpire did when Canada was pitching. This is weakly grounded, left side. Arsenault charging in. Gloves, grips, guns to first in plenty of time. And it's smooth sailing through the first for the Canadians. They lead 1-0 as we head to the second inning from easily